Who's supposed to give me the cue to get started? Mark, who's giving me the cue to get started?
Jack, let us know when you're ready to go.
All set? Okay. Well, good morning. My name is Rich Hallworth, and I'm honored to be the chair of the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame Foundation. On behalf of our board of directors, I'm so glad that you could be here today for our 2025 Hall of Fame inductee announcement. I'd like to begin by thanking Belmont University, Brittany Schaefer, and especially Mike Porter, who's here someplace today, for the use of this great space. We're honored to be here in Columbia Studio A. In this building, so many of our Hall of Fame members have recorded here. Buddy Holly, Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette, Johnny Cash, and so many others have recorded tremendous number of iconic songs right here in this studio and in this building. The Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame Foundation is a not-for-profit. We're dedicated to honoring the rich legacy of songwriting through both preservation, celebration, and education. Induction into the Hall of Fame is one of the nation's most highly prized songwriting achievements. Since 1970, we've inducted 247 of the greatest songwriters from all genres of music here in Music City. And so no one's here to listen to me, so now to make our inductee announcement, I'd like to introduce Mark Ford, our executive director.
Thank you, Rich. Hello, everybody. Good morning. I, too, echo Rich's thanks to Belmont. Oh, we have a little adjustment here. Okay. Especially to Mike Porter. Thank you, Mike. It is always a joy for us to be in Columbia A and in the Quonset Hut studio downstairs. Legendary building, legendary people who have populated it. As you may know, Belmont will next week open an expanded space next door, and I'm proud to say that our Hall of Fame will have a presence there too. More on that next week from Belmont. And as always, thank you, Mike Kerb, for restoring this room, this building, these facilities where so much musical history has happened. Once again, we add a new page of legendary names to a list that began more than a half century ago. Before I continue, I'll note that not all of our electees could be with us today. We'll do our best to represent them well, and hopefully they're watching us on the live stream along with many of you. It is now my honor to introduce you to this year's class. We begin with the 20-year songwriter-artist category. Leading us off is a Glendale, West Virginia native whose grandfather taught him to play guitar at age 8. By age 13, our electee wrote his first song. When he performed it in public, it led to an 8-year stint performing on Wheeling's Jamboree USA. After high school graduation and 2 years at West Liberty State College, our future inductee-to-be was awarded a fully paid ASCAP scholarship to Belmont University, where he majored in music business. A week after graduating from Belmont, he signed as a writer with EMI Music Publishing. Following cuts by David Kirsch, David Ball, and Tracy Bird, this writer signed with Arista Nashville and soon began recording his own songs. As an artist, he's placed 33 self-penned top 20 songs on the Billboard charts, including 15 number ones and 14 more in the top 10. Among those compositions are He Didn't Have to Be, Alcohol, I'm Gonna Miss Her, the fishing song, Celebrity, Ticks, Letter to Me, Then, This Is Country Music, Water, and his duet with Carrie Underwood, Remind Me. A member of the Grand Ole Opry since 2001, he was ASCAP's 2004 Country Songwriter Artist of the Year and was NSAI's Songwriter Artist of the Year in 2002 and in 2005. We're proud to welcome Brad Paisley to the class of 2025. Now,
hey everybody, I really wish I could be there tonight. What an honor this is to be included in the...
He was not able to join us here today, but he did send this message.
Hey everybody, I really wish I could be there tonight. What an honor this is to be included in the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. I moved to town to do this because of all of you in this room and so many of the people in this Hall of Fame. And to be included in it, it's still sinking in what that means. It's really an amazing thing to be in this group and to know that I'm accepted enough in the town that I wanted to live in so desperately, and to be a part of this industry is such an amazing honor and blessing, and thank you so much for this. It's still really sinking in, and I look forward to October when this is made official. And most importantly, I'd like to thank Chris Dubois, who taught me how to write songs. So anyway, thank you guys. Can't wait to see you all in person.
We have a Troutman, North Carolina writer who grew up in Due West, South Carolina. After college graduation in 1979, he made his way to Nashville for a few months before moving on to New York. By the late 1980s, he had joined the national touring production of Pump Boys and Dinettes and relocated to Los Angeles, where he began to find traction musically as a writer and performer. In the early 1990s, this writer returned to Nashville, where he began to land early cuts by George Strait. By the mid-90s, this writer's songs were finding homes on the country chart. Gonna Get a Life by Mark Chestnut, Halfway Down by Patty Loveless, and You Don't Seem to Miss Me by Patty Loveless and George Jones. Near the end of the decade, Strait had top 5 hits with We Really Shouldn't Be Doing This and What Do You Say to That, which was originally recorded by our future inductee to be on B&A Records in 1998. Across his career as an Americana recording artist, he has released 37 albums, achieving 2 Grammy wins for Bluegrass Album of the Year and charting bluegrass hits such as Mighty Lonesome, One Blue Mule, and Iodine. His collaborations with Ralph Stanley and the Clinch Mountain Boys yielded the Bluegrass Top 10 I Feel Like Singing Today and She's Looking at Me, the 2002 Americana Music Association Song of the Year. This writer was also honored with the AMA's Lifetime Achievement Award in 2016, and we are proud to welcome Jim Lauderdale to the class of 2025. As you may have guessed, Jim is out on the road, and like Brad could not join us today. However, he did send this message.
Thank you so much, Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. This just means the world to me to be in the company of so many of my songwriting heroes. And I would be there with y'all today, but I'm out on the road, or I would be in a heartbeat. And I'm looking forward to October. And thank you so much. And I really appreciate it.
Okay, from the 20-year songwriter category, we have a Florida native whose songwriting path began in Tampa, where his teenage rock band days led to 2 solo pen singles on Scepter Records. Following a move to Memphis, where he scored a top 20 R&B hit with James Carr, our future inductee to be made his next move to Miami as a 19-year-old staff writer for Atlantic Records, where he garnered cuts by Rita Coolidge, Delaney and Bonnie, and others. He followed with solo albums in Canada and the UK. Then in 1979, one of his 11-year-old songs, Touch Me with Magic, was released by Marty Robbins. He reached number 15 country and became a BMI award winner, and that prompted our electee to move to Nashville in 1982. His first number 1 song, Lee Greenwood's Morning Ride, came 5 years later and was followed by more number 1s. New Fool at an Old Game by Reba McEntire, Carried Away and Carrying Your Love with Me, both by George Strait, Wherever You Are by Jack Ingram, Seeing Red by Dustin Lynch. In 2000, Prayin' for Daylight launched Rascal Flatts' career as their debut single, and in 2006, and 2007, 2 songs by Dierks Bentley were nominated for Grammys, Every Mile of Memory and Long Trip Alone. We are proud to welcome Steve Bogard to the class of 2025.
Thank you all. This is an amazing honor, and I'm both humbled and excited. First, I've got to thank the Nashville Hall of Fame Foundation Board of Directors, and thank Rich very much, and thank all the voters. I don't really know who they all are, but they have pretty good taste. So, I'm thrilled to be in a group with my songwriting heroes. These are men and women that I looked at the back of records and read their names. I learned their songs and covered their songs. I saw their names on Billboard and tried to live up to them. Never dreamed I'd be actually in their company. So it's for me the ultimate acceptance, and I can't express my gratitude enough. Nashville is the key word here in the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame induction for me. You know, there are a lot of people to thank, but one person challenged me one day, many years ago, in Miami. Beverly Bogard, she doesn't pull any punches. She said, "You're not a songwriter." When I protested and named cuts and albums and stuff, she said, "We don't live where songwriters live. They live in LA and New York and Nashville." So a few months later, our house was on the market, and our 4-year-old and our 8-year-old and a black lab and everything we owned was in a U-Haul trailer with a big wheel strapped to the back. Friends and family were on our front porch waving goodbye and saying, "Their address is Hicks Road." The creative community, the songwriters, the musicians, engineers, producers, publishers, artists, and all the folks who dedicate their careers to music make Nashville completely unlike any other city on earth. They're soulful, caring, and welcoming people. So I want to thank all those folks along the way who opened their arms and their hearts to me and my family and made this place home. I'm so proud and grateful to be inducted into the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Steve. Also from the 20-year songwriter category, we have a Georgia-born, Nashville-raised creative whose father, Glenn, was a hit songwriter. So naturally, our electee grew up to become a journalist. Still, the apple didn't fall too far from the tree, because in his time as a journalist for a Chicago newspaper, our future inductee to be was also writing parody songs for fun. Glenn urged him to take his talent more seriously, and in 1988, this writer composed Baby's Gotten Good at Goodbye, which Glenn successfully pitched to George Strait. And this song proved to be the dream scenario for a songwriter. It was this writer's first demo, first cut, first single, first hit, and first #1. Ran out of fingers. Since that time, more chart-topping hits have been added to his resume. Among those are A Little More Summertime by Jason Aldean, I'll Think of a Reason Later by Leanne Womack, Just to See You Smile, Tim McGraw, Living and Living Well and Go On, both by George Strait, No Place That Far by Sarah Evans, Settle for a Slowdown by Dierks Bentley, Third Rock from the Sun by Joe Diffie, and You Look Good in My Shirt, Keith Urban. We're proud to welcome Tony Martin to the class of 2025.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everyone. You don't know, I can't tell you how much this means to me. I always said, half jokingly, that writing a song is either the easiest thing in the world to do or it's impossible. And that's kind of how I feel about trying to describe how I feel right now. It's very easy to express, but finding all the right words is going to be impossible. I want to thank the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame, everybody who put my name in the hat, everybody pulled it out and voted for me, like Steve. I don't know who you are, and I can't thank all of you, but I will every chance I get. It's a blessed thing to love something and it love you back. And I love Nashville. I love songs. I was raised here. I grew up among its legends, and to be numbered among them is that's an honor. And to have the words Nashville and songwriter forever attached to my name, that's a privilege, and I thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Now, from the 30-year veteran songwriter artist category, we have a Birmingham, Alabama native who was raised in North Carolina and Virginia. By high school, she was obsessed with playing guitar. Graduating as valedictorian, she eventually left college for the folk music scene in New York's Greenwich Village. Signing with Jubilee Records, she released her debut album in 1970 with 5 self-penned songs. Moving to Washington, D.C., she met Graham Parsons, joined his band, and discovered a passion for country music. Following Parsons' untimely death, our future inductee to be formed her own band and signed with Reprise Records. Her 1975 release featured her classic Boulder to Birmingham. In 1985, White Line reached number 14 country, and in 1989, Heartbreak Hill reached number 8 country. In My Hour of Darkness, recorded by Graham Parsons in 1973, reemerged in 2007 as a number 15 bluegrass hit for John Starling and Carolina Star. Sweetheart of the Pines from 1986 became a number 17 bluegrass hit for Dale Ann Bradley in 2016. Other notable songs from this writer's pen include A River for Him, Amarillo, Red Dirt Girl, The Pearl, and Woman Walk the Line. She is a 1995 inductee into the Hall of Greats for the Society for the Preservation of Bluegrass Music of America, a 2008 inductee into the Country Music Hall of Fame, and a 2018 recipient of the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. We're proud to welcome Emmylou Harris to the class of 2025. As you can tell, Emmylou has been on the road too. However, she did send me this. Thank you to the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. I am so honored to be inducted into the class of 2025. I look forward to seeing you all and celebrating at the gala in October. So welcome, Emmylou. Thank you. Finally, from the 30-year veteran songwriter category, we have a native of San Antonio, Texas, who was writing songs by age 12, recording his first demo by age 14, and playing various Houston coffee houses throughout his teenage years. 3 days after graduation from the University of Texas, this writer arrived in Nashville, where he soon met publisher Don Gant, who signed him to a deal at Acuff Rose Publishing. When Gant moved to Tree Publishing, this writer followed. In his first year at Tree, he had 11 cuts, including Crying Again by the Oak Ridge Boys and Lady Lay Down by John Conley, his first number 1 as a songwriter. Other hits followed in the 80s, including Julia by Conway Twitty, I Wish That I Could Hurt That Way Again by T. Graham Brown, Small Town Girl by Steve Wariner, and Somebody's Gonna Love You by Lee Greenwood. In the early 90s, our future inductee-to-be began to co-write with and co-produce a new duo named Brooks and Dunn. Those collaborations with Kix and Ronnie yielded a string of number 1 hits, including their debut single, Brand New Man, as well as My Next Broken Heart, Only in America, and You're Gonna Miss Me When I'm Gone, among others. We are proud to welcome Don Cook to the class of 2025.
Thanks so much. Thanks to the the Hall of Fame board and the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame for this incredible honor. I've worn a lot of hats in this community. I've been here for a long time. Elvis was alive when I got here. And some people say he's still alive. But, you know, if I'm remembered for anything, I hope I'm remembered for my part in this beautiful community. I can't believe that I get to do this for a living. My first demo session, Grady Martin played guitar on it. I mean, that's how long I've been here. And for my last demo session, Jeff King played on it. So, and my first co-writer was Ray Van Hoy, who's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. My last co-writer was Kix Brooks. And I think we have a couple more to write probably. But it is such an unbelievable honor for me. I don't know what to say other than the blessing of my life is my wife Charmaine, that I've been married to for a long time. But the blessing of my career is being a Nashville songwriter, and it's absolutely topped off by this honor. I thank you so much for it. Thanks.
This incredible class, Steve Bogard, Tony Martin, Jim Lauderdale, Don Cook, Emmylou Harris, and Brad Paisley, will officially be inducted this fall, because they're elect right now, like a president-elect. They are elect now, but they will become official during our 55th anniversary Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame Gala on Monday, October the 6th at the Music City Center. These 6 will be accompanied by an additional honoree or 2 that night, and we will share more news about that in the coming weeks. Thank you all for joining us for the live stream, and this concludes this particular portion of our 2025 inductee announcement.